You guys want to see a masterclass on how to destroy all your tools in your shop in under a week? Here we go. This is a 50-pound pink Himalayan salt block that I ordered from Pakistan, and I'm going to turn it into a playable guitar. You might be wondering, why would anyone do such a thing? Well, I like art. I like to create art, and this stuff looks incredible held up to some light. There's really cool veins and features in the salt block, and I thought it would just look pretty cool in the form of a guitar. So I got a flat edge on the salt block on the table saw, which allows me now to resaw it on the bandsaw. And this is basically just slicing it in half so that I have two book matched or matching pieces to create a guitar blank out of. Fun fact, this was the first cut I made on this brand new bandsaw. And what better way to break in a nice new bandsaw than running a giant salt block through it. Alright, so now that I've got my two book matched pieces of salt, I just gave it a quick sanding on the edges, then I mixed up some epoxy and slathered that onto the edges, joined the two pieces together, and I used some clamps to apply pressure while it cures. Once it cured, I sanded the whole block down just to make sure everything was nice and flat, and you can see just how thrilled that palm sander is to be sanding that salt block. And then I mixed up some epoxy, created a little dam around the salt, and then I poured a flood coat of epoxy on it. The epoxy is going to do two things. Most importantly, it's hopefully going to give some strength to keep the whole thing together, and it's also going to give a nice polishable surface to make the face of the guitar. At least that's what I thought I was going to do, but then I realized that the salt itself actually polishes up really nice. So I ended up just making the raw salt as the top of the guitar, and the epoxy is on the back to provide strength. Look at this poor sander, just getting decimated by all that salt. No tools were safe in this build. Like, seriously, I built this thing 2 or 3 years ago, and at this point, I think my shop has recovered from all the salt. But I did spend a good 3 to 4 months after this project just constantly sanding and oiling my tools to combat the rust. At this point, we're on the home stretch, just getting this thing sanded down and polished. Ton of weird builds to show you guys. We're only scratching the surface of my content here. So if you like what you see here, give me a follow and follow along on this weird journey that nobody asked for.